How's it going, everybody? It is our first episode of In the Jeweler's Loop. I am here accompanied by my best friend and partner in crime, Scott. And Scott and I started this business about 3 years ago, and he has got about 22 years of experience in it?
Since 1999.
Since 1999. So just about that.
25 years.
Oh, wow. See, my math was off on that one.
Yeah.
So he is he's definitely a certified stone setter. He's worked in different jewelry backgrounds of businesses out there, and he is good. Yeah, I've known him for a while, and I've seen this kid progress in life, and he's amazing at what he does. He's taught me a lot also at this, and any questions I have, I go see him. And if he doesn't have anything for me, I can always talk to his uncle, which showed him all the ropes from the beginning. Hopefully we'll have him here on our podcast soon. But just to let you guys know that our podcast is going to be about jewelry, and I'm also going to invite local entrepreneurs on here and artists. And we'll talk to some people that are locals also around here. We'll invite them on here. We enjoy talking to all these people and getting all kinds of stories out there of their success and about their art and everything. It's cool. I definitely got into this. This is my first time doing a podcast, and it's something I'm passionate about, is the art of jewelry, the artisan, and I also enjoy listening to other people's success in their lives, where they started from and all that. But enough about all that. I'm gonna go with where did Scott begin and where I began, how I got into it, how he got into it, and you guys are gonna get to know us a little bit better and understand our nature of how we have a passion for what we do. So if you don't mind, Scott, if you feel like telling us just a smidge or a bit of where you started and how it began.
Yeah, I was just hanging. I had an opportunity to go with my uncle to. My uncle was started in the jewelry business. He worked for a prior employer. Then he wanted to venture on his own. He ended up opening up a business in the flea market in like '98. Late '98 and stuff like that. I started getting into it. At that point in time, he was asking me for my help, getting him set up, and trying to learn the ropes over there. And then from there on out, he went to he opened up a little side business inside of another jewelry store to do repairs, and that's how he started learning to do all the repairs and stuff like that. And then we ended up buying the building and opened it up and renovating it to create the jewelry store that we currently worked at for about a good 15-20 years. So from there on out, I've had all kind of opportunities from there to go into venturing out to bigger corporations and going out to stone settings and work from the smallest guy all the way up to the biggest guy. They all work the same. Everything's in the line of, what I mean, try getting the customer to be happy and fulfill your job and do what you got to do. And then I came here,
which is basically what we do over here. We will, like when we do repairs and all that over here. we basically will not let that repair leave out of here until it's perfect.
Right.
And you say, what was the saying you said? If it's not perfect for my loved one, it's not perfect for them.
Right. If you wouldn't give it to your mother or you wouldn't give it to your loved one, why would you give it to a customer to give it to their loved one? So that's what I was told by my uncle, which was great advice. You know what I mean? What you want to give to the customer is what you would want to give to the person that entail would receive that gift from you.
Which I must say, your uncle is a great guy.
Right.
I can't wait to have him on here. He's an amazing guy.
Right.
I like him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. And us as we are children of immigrant families, we came here. Well, we were born here, but our families came here to better off life. Where our background is basically Portuguese, Azorian, and Madeiran background, and they came here. They're hard workers. Basically, Scott's dad and my dad were good friends from the old country. We call it the old country. They were basically almost like best friends in the island called Terceira, which is part of the Azores Island. There's 9 islands in the Azores Galapagos, and his dad was friends with my dad. But now your dad was born there, and your mom was born in St. Michael, right?
No, they were both born in Seda and they moved to St. Michael.
Oh, okay.
When they were like 5 or something like that. My father's like 5 years older than my mother, so.
Oh, okay.
When my father was born, when my father was 5, my mother was born, and then they went to. When they turned 5 around there, that's when they went to thing, and then that's when they met. Was like years and years later when they were teenagers.
That's so cool, man. It's like it was meant to be, dude.
Right.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they came from the same island and then met on a different island.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the story of my mom and dad. He's from Terceira, same island. My dad, and my mom's from Madeira, or Madeira, as I should say it. And my dad was living in the U.S. already, and they were sending back and forth, love letters to each other. And he finally went there to go meet her, and they ended up getting married there, and they came back to the U.S. and finalized it with me here. You know what I mean? That's it. We became the next generation of the American Portuguese in our families. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah. Hard workers. Your dad did construction. My dad worked at a factory called International. Well, I'm not even going to say the whole name because I don't want to get copyright or whatever it is, but it was a washer and dryer company. Mm-hmm. And he worked there almost his whole life. He was here.
Yeah, my father wasn't just a construction worker. He worked at the building down the street too.
Yeah.
There used to be Cliff Tex and Mars.
Oh yeah.
My mom and my dad worked
textile.
there.
Yep.
Textile.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then. That was a big thing back then. It was textile.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom, she was a seamstress. She worked textile also all her life. She was in Cliff Tex also. Yeah. And at the end, before she retired, she was working down the street from us over here. I'm not gonna say the name of the place neither, but she worked a good almost 20 years over there. Yeah. But she has like all her life of being a seamstress. She in Portugal that she went to school for it and everything.
Yeah.
And she hems up all my clothes. I buy suits and she takes care of that for me. Yeah. And I keep telling her, "Hey, Ma, why don't you start your own business?" You know what I mean? You could cook, you could sew, you could do all that stuff. And she says, "No te pachorra," which means I don't have the patience for that. So that's how it is. They work hard. They think it's work hard and you get what you want. Sometimes they have the motivation, sometimes they don't. But in this case, in our story, which is the same, we got the motivation. So we started our business in 2021, I believe. No, 2022. I'm sorry, because it says it on our hats and stuff. It's we started in 2022, and we finally opened up a little store in one of my garage ports that I converted into a jewelry store. And it's like everything else, like Walt Disney and all those guys, they all started in a garage. There's the guy from Fall River there, the owner of Portugalia. He had a 6-car or a 3-car garage, a 3-bay or whatever. He started selling all his stuff out of there. And look at him now. He's got that beautiful big store out there, It's amazing. It's amazing where people start and where they're at. And I'm hoping we get to do that too. I not hoping. I know we're gonna do it. It's gonna take a while, but we're gonna do it. We've gotten this far in 3 years. And it's amazing. It's amazing what I've gotten so far, like seeing where we began and all that. And we're doing pretty good. So back to the story of our origins there. How I started to get into the jewelry business is I was a welder at one point. I was welding stainless steel grills for friends. I learned how to weld. Once again, a friend of mine.
Barbecue grills.
Yeah, barbecue grills. Yeah. It was a friend of my father's. This guy's like a master welder, old school Portuguese guy, and he taught me how to weld. I ended up getting my own stick welder and all that, and I started making grills and all that. My friends, they were amazed. I was like, I make grills out of like a half a keg. You know what I mean? One of those empty half kegs. Everything stainless steel. That even the skewers that they use, stainless steel. And I was doing that for a while, and then one day things turned to a dark end with my father, and he passed away. And after he passed away, I noticed that there was a lot of gold and silver that he left behind for me, and I got that in my safe. I saved all that, and I also, added to the collection. So now my gears stopped moving, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know how to weld. What can I do with gold and silver? And I just clicked in my head, and I said, I got to talk to Scott. So I said, Scotty, what do I need for this? What do I need to solder, the silver, this and that? And you remember, you told me, he's like, hey guy, don't start with silver or gold. Start with copper.
Yeah, so don't start with precious metals.
Yeah.
Start with something inexpensive.
Yeah. So I ended up starting with the copper, and I kept on asking. I was like, what do I need? And he was like, you got to need a jeweler's torch. You're going to need the acetylene and the oxygen, and
files, pliers.
Yep.
Picks.
Yep. He told me everything I needed, and then good old YouTube. Here I am checking it out, learning how to make certain chains, this and that. The first piece that I made was a Cuban link, copper Cuban link bracelet. I ended up giving it to a friend of mine. It was Troy. I gave it to Troy. He was freaking gassed with that thing. So that was my first piece, and I was happy. I was like, oh, I'm doing stuff. But one thing after another, my practice of it started getting better and better. And that's when I realized that what I have the patience for, Scotty doesn't have the patience for. But he can definitely do it. He doesn't want to do it because he has no patience for it. Like my mom would say, no apachurra. You know what I mean? And then like the repairs that Scotty does, either I can't do it or I have no patience for it. And Scotty's like amazing with certain things. We've got videos on our YouTube that you guys would probably see on there, or you will see on there, because I posted one up the other day, and Scotty was working on a chain and all that. And I was like, if that was me, I would have lost my patience. I would have melted the thing and said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you some money for this." But no, I couldn't do that. That's why it's like a yin yang balance over here, basically, right? Would you think that?
Yep. Every toy soldier has got his stand.
Yeah, you're right. I like that saying. That's a cool saying. But yeah, basically, that's all in a nutshell for us right now. It's been a rough first 2 years, maybe 3 years. A lot of ups and downs, but that's well known with like businesses in the beginning. Our clients are starting to build up, our name's getting out there, and it's the positive. We stay positive and good things happen, right? I believe in good karma. I believe in a lot of karma, good and bad. Um, and my karma that I like getting out there is the good karma. That's why we bless people. If you guys remember or seen us out there, um, me and Scotty would be out there one day just going into certain places, and we're like, I just want to bless somebody. We'll grab a piece of jewelry we have on our display, and we'll give it to someone and say, hey, we just wanted to bless people. You look like you needed a blessing. Here you go. And just to see the expression in the person's face is everything. And that's another thing, right, Scott?
Yeah, yeah.
That's another thing. After fixing jewelry too, the expression of people, like it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, because you know what I mean, that brings excitement to you because they're like, oh, they're amazed at your work, or you know what I mean, you get satisfaction that you did the right job and you did something that brought joy to somebody's face that they got back
Yeah.
when they received that piece originally. So it brings that feeling back to them.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a good feeling.
Yep, it is.
Their happiness is our happiness.
We've had a customer have her engagement ring. We had a few engagement rings come in here get fixed, but there was one that she needed a new setting for her stone, and the shank was cracked in half, and her band was missing a stone. We ended up replacing, what was it, the baguette stone? Yeah, it was a baguette stone. We replaced that, and we put a new setting for her marquise.
Yep.
And as soon as we went to go give it to her, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
She couldn't contain herself. She basically held her hand up to the sky and wanted the planes to see it. From what she said, I want the planes to see it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Just reactions like that mean a lot to us.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And then we did another one to a friend of yours, right? Joey? It was Joey, right?
Joey, his wife wanted the band, like an insert kind of style, with the two outer rings, like basically the wedding bands to the engagement thing. So
sort of the two bands onto the engagement ring.
To the engagement ring.
Yeah. I remember that.
So all the stones, they're even on the sides, and they stood up, standing up.
And it was just his reaction that we saw. Can't imagine what her reaction was.
Oh, she loved. She called me and texted me afterwards, and she was amazed. She was like, "Oh my God, you guys did an amazing job."
Yeah.
And we did the detail because I don't just like leaving a big old solder blob and solder spots. You got to do the detail. Detail is key. You know what I mean? Like if you create the lines, like there is no solder there. It looks like three separate rings, but they're attached together.
Yeah.
And that's key.
I love that look. Anybody would love that look. That look is so clean.
Yeah.
So clean. And I wouldn't want to see the three rings together and it'd be solid.
Yeah.
Without making it look like the separate rings.
Yeah.
Because that would be too bland with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd rather see like you did it. You look like they're separate rings, which they were, soldered together. It looked perfect. I liked it. Yep. To me, I liked it. That's 110 pass on me. Yeah. What was another one that we did? We did another one. I forgot what the other one was. Oh, we did so many, man.
Yeah.
So many.
We did that one that we were convinced her, instead of getting a smaller genuine stone, we got her a bigger lab grown, worth more for the money. I mean, not worth more, sized more for the value.
So she got more than what the value was.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
The
Is that
look.
is that that engagement ring there? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So we did that. We pieced it together.
Yeah. There's a video on our YouTube with that.
Yep.
It got the diamond and everything. It was a 1 carat. It was non-certified though, because that's what she wanted, non-certified.
Right.
Because she said that in the near future she could change it if she wanted to get a bigger stone or whatever.
Absolutely.
Oh, we could do that. Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Easy peasy.
Yep. Not a problem. And we've had the chain that I took a shot at with my cousin.
Right.
That was a great chain, man.
Yeah.
Not a great chain. It was a great experience.
Right.
You know, because
that was the first time working on gold.
Yeah, my first time working on gold. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And I ended up putting a brand new end link, and I soldered the link back together.
Yeah.
And just the experience, well, not the experience, it's just the sentimental meaning of it.
Yeah, for all of you that don't know, Timmy's cousin was a military vet, and great guy, good personality, and he lost his life, and we ended up getting a hold of his necklace and redoing the solder and gave it as a gift to his daughter so she can have a memory of it. We cleaned it up for her.
It is for her, but his mother has it right now.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know.
She's holding on to it for him.
There you go.
She's holding on to it for her. So in the near future, they'll have talks about it. Yeah. Yeah. Just that sentimental value of that chain is priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless. Yeah, he was a great guy. He was the cousin that everybody looked up at. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to be Junior. Yeah. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's with my dad now doing jokes, scratch and scratch tickets. Those guys used to love scratch and scratch tickets. They had a little competition.
Scratch offs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was that conversation we had the other day? Did I mention what the show was all about?
I mentioned it again.
I mentioned it again. Yeah, this show. I'm gonna let you guys know. It's all about jewelry, and I'm gonna involve entrepreneurs and artists from the local area, with also regular citizens of the local area that we know of, friends and family and all that. We're gonna have them in here. I did mention it in the beginning, if I remember, but I've got so much in my mind to talk about right now. It's just that I didn't remember, so I had to let you guys know again.
Right.
So I'm gonna have a lot of cool people on here from the area. A lot of people that know people. It's a big city, but it feels small because everybody knows everybody. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have them in there. So yeah. Now, we had a conversation last night about diamonds, and I would love to get that in here. And we were talking about colored diamonds. You do not want to talk about this one, do you?
No, because
it's
more,
a preference.
It's a more of opinion of mine because some people we were talking about colored stones, value of clear white diamonds and colored stones, canary yellows, baby blues, what you call it, like browns, and like the chocolates and the champagnes and the stuff like that, and black diamonds and stuff like that. To me, when I was growing into the jewelry business, anything that was a dark colored stone to me was invaluable because it was made with flaws. It was carbon buildup. It was oxidized,
Mm.
uncured oxidation inside of the stone. And to me, if you got like a dark colored stone, it means that the value of the stone was under undergraded. So, but now they got stones where the color is like darker, and then they got like no flaws or barely any flaws. You can't see it with the naked eye. You know what I mean? The value is sometimes even greater than a clear white stone. And
Yeah, like those reds and yellows,
yeah,
like canary yellows and
those
stuff.
those are pretty cool. You know what I mean? To me they remind me of like rubies and sapphires
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and citrines, and but they have a hardness of a diamond and they got the purity of a diamond, but
mm,
to me the value of a diamond is
yeah,
it's clear, it's white, and it's, what I mean, it's
right.
brilliant. But
I
to
agree.
each their own.
Yeah, I agree with you in a way, but for like if I'm looking at a diamond collecting aspect, I would I would love to get like those vivid colors. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because as long as they don't have any flaw, as long as they're flawless, as I
Yeah,
should
no
say.
feathers,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
carbon,
yeah.
you know,
Because
flowers.
usually, like someone told me, yellow diamonds is just a low color on the grade.
Right.
But there's
Not nowadays. There's not.
no, it's not. It's not. And I'll tell you what, man, I got a big appreciation for them now. Ever since I've been getting into them and all that.
Yep.
Um, but like you said, that's so people don't come jumping down our throats. That's preference wise. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody will like, let's say you want a salt and pepper diamond that has some carbon in it. You know, that's your taste. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's beautiful for what you want. I'm not gonna knock it. It's just not for me.
Right.
You know, you want a whiskey color diamond, you can get a whiskey colored diamond.
Yep.
I think it's cool looking, but you won't catch me with like whiskey colored diamonds on it.
Yeah.
I'll have it in my safe so I could save it for somebody that wants it, but it's not my preference.
Right.
But I do appreciate having appreciation for those stones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the color, never mind the cut. And we already talked about the clarity.
Yep.
It's different cuts out there. It's amazing what they do with diamonds. When I saw hot shaped diamonds, I was like, yeah, right. They couldn't be anything else. Couldn't be anything else better than these. And then you start seeing these crazy diamonds out there shaped as horses and butterflies. It's like, how the heck do they do that? But then again, it's all lab grown stuff, and they got the machines to do it to cut them up and all that.
Yeah, they press them into molds.
Yeah, basically, pretty much.
And then they just etch them out.
Yeah, they bring it to the stone cutter and they cut them out. Yeah, yeah. It was There's one diamond. Okay, this is all right. I'm gonna be honest. There's one diamond that I love.
It intrigues you more.
Yes, it intrigues me more, and I'm gonna tell it to you guys. And it's not because of our heritage. You already know which one I'm gonna say, but a Portuguese cut diamond is beautiful. They say it takes about a month to make these diamonds cuts. Like to cut this diamond, it takes about a month or more.
Yeah,
Because it's got so many facets in it. Yeah, so many facets in it.
Yeah.
But if you guys out there are hearing it, if you look up a Portuguese cut diamond, amazing, beautiful cut diamond. I've seen these diamonds, and the first time I saw them, made my jaw drop, and I went on a hunt for them. And my previous trip to Portugal, when I was in Madeira, or as I should say, Madeira, I went to a jewelry store, and they had a few engagement rings in there with Portuguese cut diamonds. I should have taken pictures of those suckers. Those things were freaking beautiful, man. Beautiful. And they were in 19.25 karat gold, which, if nobody knows what that is, it's it almost looks like a rose gold, but less of the reddish, I'd say. But it's very close to rose gold, except the carat on it is 19.25. With that diamond in it, everybody says if you put a diamond in platinum or white gold, it pops more. It does. But for some reason, that diamond and that gold, it fit it and it looked beautiful. It popped to me in a way. You know what I mean? It's got to be because of the cuts. It's got to be because of the facets on it. It looks like a rose inside of a stone. That's the way I could explain it.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that's my favorite stone right there. Favorite diamond, as I should say. But that's our first episode right there. I mean, if you guys enjoyed it, we're gonna have some more every Sunday. I will have more and more people here with me. Like, we'll have some entrepreneurs, like I said, some artists, and I can't wait to talk about it again.
Yeah, maybe they'll have some questions. If you guys
Yeah.
have questions, hit the blog.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
We'll answer as accurately and as best as we can.
Yep, most definitely, guys. So I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk to you soon again.